Hey everyone, the topic this week that I thought we could talk about is the 5 things that I think you absolutely can't skip when you are putting your baby, toddler, or preschooler to sleep at night. The first thing that I think you really need to focus on is the timing. We really want to have that sweet spot when we're putting our child to bed at night, because if they're overtired, they're going to have cortisol pumping through their bloodstream and they're going to have a lot of difficulty going to sleep. And if they're undertired, if they've had too much nap time or not enough awake time before bedtime, they're also going to have a lot of difficulty falling asleep. So that's just going to make bedtime a battle for everyone and not an enjoyable experience. So really focus on the timing of bedtime. I always tell families that you want to use a combination of the clock plus your child's sleepy cues to really nail the timing down. So just because bedtime is supposed to be at 7:30 every night, if your child is showing sleepy cues earlier, then we want to put them down to bed a little bit earlier. Or if they're not showing any sleepy cues, maybe we want to put them down a little bit later within reason. So combination of the clock and sleepy cues, keeping in mind how busy your day was or what you were doing in that wake window before bed. And maybe if your bedtime routine needs to be a little bit longer, just to allow for some extra wind down time if there's been a bunch of friends or family around and they're really wired up from that. So timing is everything, and really focus on trying to nail down that perfect bedtime. The next thing that I think you shouldn't skip is bath time. So whether that's a bath or a shower, allowing your child some time to spend in warm water will really lower their core temperature, and it just makes it so conducive to falling asleep. It kickstarts the production of melatonin and just makes their body physically feel sleepy. So especially if you have a child who has trouble winding down and falling asleep quickly, making sure that they're having a bath or a shower before bed is a great way to help support them. The bath or a shower is also just a great excuse to turn off the TV and sort of extend that wind down period. So we're looking for like an hour to 45 minutes before your child's target bedtime. And so using a bath or a shower as that quiet activity to help stop all the running around, stop the screen time, and just settle down and start shifting our mindset into falling asleep mode. So bath or shower is awesome for helping your child fall asleep more easily. The next step that I don't think you should ever skip is putting your phone away whenever possible during the bedtime routine. So this is the last period of time that you're going to spend with your child before you say goodnight to them for probably 10 to 12 hours. And so really spend this time connecting with them, especially if you have a child who is struggling with like separation anxiety or really has trouble with that goodbye at the end of the night. If you can truly give them your undivided attention for those 45 minutes before bed, that is really going to fill up their love cup and make saying goodbye a little bit easier. So whenever possible, put your phone away and really try to connect during the bedtime routine. The fourth thing that I don't think that you should skip in your bedtime routine ever is reading. Reading, as a former teacher and reading specialist, it has so many benefits that we won't even get into here. But aside from all of those benefits like vocabulary and love of books, all of that aside, in terms of sleep, it's such a great way for your child to calm their body, settle down. It gives you some snuggle time right before that separation. It's interaction between you and your child. And I bet it's one of their favorite parts of the day. For a really little baby, it's a great way to break up the bedtime bottle and going to sleep in the crib. So it sort of breaks that feed to sleep association if you can stick a book in between there. For a really little baby, you might only be reading to them for about 5 minutes, and that's fine and that's plenty. And as your child gets a bit older, then you might be spending 15 to 20 minutes reading together. But it's a great signal to their brain that it's time to start winding down. Their bodies are calm, they're snuggling with their parent, and I just wouldn't skip it. And then the final number 5 thing that I think you shouldn't skip is you should really have a bedtime song or a bedtime phrase or both, something that you say and do to your child every single night before you leave their room. So for my daughter, it's twinkle, twinkle, little star. And then we have a little phrase that we say after that. And she really looks forward to that every night. And that is her closure. And that is the thing that tells her brain, okay, it's time to fall asleep now. So if you haven't done so already, I would come up with a song or a phrase or both that you say every single night before leaving the room so that their brain now says, okay, it's time to fall asleep now. Now, I know that the end of the day can be a really crazy and exhausting time for parents and for children, but whenever possible, especially if sleep is a struggle, you really shouldn't skip those 5 things. They're a pattern that's going to help your child know what's coming next and really help them settle down and fall asleep faster. So I highly recommend, if you're not doing all 5 of those things, that you start tonight. And I think you'll see that bedtime will go a bit easier. If you already are doing all of those things and bedtime is still a nightmare, then reach out to me and let's talk. And I'm happy to jump on a call with you and help you diagnose what might be going on that's making bedtime super hard for everyone. Have a great week, and I hope you found that really helpful.